And now on Wake Up Australia, Blog of the Week.
Yes, let's get to our Blogger of the Week, and I think it's a relatively new blogger. Her name is Lynn Baker. She started travelling at the age of 50 and writes about it at www.aholeinmyshoe.com. Is it not a great title? Lynn Baker's on the line. Hi, Lynn. How are you going?
I'm great, thanks, Andrew.
So tell us, when did you make the decision that I'm going to start travelling? And boy, have you travelled. How many countries have you been to in the last couple of years?
18 now.
18?
In the last 3 years, yeah.
So, well, A, how can you afford it? And B, what made you decide to hit the road, Jack?
Well, my now husband proposed to me, and our first trip was for our honeymoon.
Oh, lovely.
So we did a few countries on a cruise and got their travel bug that way, both cruising and also going to Europe last year. So we combined quite a lot of countries there.
Yes, well, I'm interested that you say that. I was talking to an aunt of mine recently, and they've started cruising in the last few years, and she said what she mostly loves about going on a cruise is you find some places you would never normally go to, and it becomes yet another holiday destination down the track.
Absolutely, and you wake up to a new destination every day.
Yeah. What's been your favourite cruise?
Last year, the trip we did to Europe, we saved hard to go on the brand new Royal Princess.
Right.
So we were watching the progress of the boat being built, and we sailed from Barcelona through to Venice, and that's a dream come true, sailing through the canal in Venice. That's amazing.
I could only imagine. I've never been to Venice, so I can only imagine what that was like. That's been the highlight?
Absolutely, yeah.
So where else have you been on a cruise that you've decided, righto, this is us, we're coming back here?
Southeast Asia we've done mostly. That was our first cruise. We sailed from Fremantle through to Singapore.
Right.
Via Malaysia and KL, Phuket, etc.
Yes.
The following year we decided that we would do the reverse of the trip, which started from Singapore and went through Cambodia, Vietnam, Bangkok and a few other places back to Fremantle. And then just this year we did another cruise going from Melbourne around New Zealand and back to Sydney, which surprisingly for all the travel that we've done recently, that was the first time I've ever been to Sydney in all my life.
Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did you love us here?
Wait. I loved it. Can't wait to get back.
Oh, good.
We actually were lucky enough that we caught Vivid while we were there, so it was very pleased to see that.
Yeah, Mighty Light Show, terrific.
Mm.
So, cruises, people who go on cruises reasonably regularly talk about the deals that you can get as a returning cruiser, for want of a better term. How hard is it to find a good deal for a cruise?
Well, I've always shopped around through travel agents, and they generally get a pretty good deal. So far, they've always come up better than going direct to the cruise line.
Right.
We've stayed loyal with Princess. We did our first cruise with them, and because of that, they have like a reward program where you move up the ranks and get some added incentives.
Right.
And the other benefit is when you're on a cruise, they do a thing called a future cruise deposit.
Yes.
Whereby you're allowed to just put $100 down, and that secures any cruise that you want to go on for the next 4 years.
Our neighbours do that every time they go on a cruise.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you get a good deal. All right, well, give us some tips, and your blog can be found at www.aholeinmyshoe.com. Tell us about the title, first of all.
That was from Europe last year.
What's it?
Walking around on all those cobblestones, and we just packed so much into the 5 weeks we were there that I literally blew out 2 pairs of shoes.
Right, okay. I thought there'd be a story behind it.
Yeah, there always is. And in January, I was watching Today Tonight, and there was a local family from Perth being featured who had decided to travel the world, and they did a blog. And I looked at my husband and I just said, we can do that. And 28 days later, I launched A Hole in My Shoe via Facebook. And within the first month, I got 1,000 fans. So I was over the moon with that.
It also means you have to be disciplined and keep writing, doesn't it?
It does. It took me 2 months to actually get the website up and running and get some content happening. But, yeah, we're slowly getting there now, and it's real learning curve.
I can imagine. What great fun, too, especially writing about holiday destinations. Have you got some tips to share about stretching our dollar further when we go on a holiday?
Particularly with the cruises, I would suggest that people shop around for their shore excursions. They can be quite expensive done through the cruise line.
Right.
And,
I didn't realise you had a choice. I assumed if you got off the ship you would have to take part in the cruise organised shore trip.
No, it is encouraged that you do that. The one biggest benefit with going with the cruise line is that if there is a delay getting you back to the ship, they obviously hold the ship for you. If you go independent, they don't. But I did manage to find a company last year when we were in Europe that saved us a substantial amount of money and had that guarantee to get us back to the ship on time or free of charge to the next port.
Right.
Needless to say, they got us back to the ship, so we didn't have to worry about any issues.
I'll bet.
And I have actually recently written a blog about that. So, that was a big saving to us.
I was interested to read, you have written about when booking a hotel not to take up the breakfast offer. Why is that?
Because breakfast in the hotels, firstly, are generally overpriced. And secondly, to go and eat locally, you get out and meet the people. And that's what travelling is all about. It's about the food, seeing how they eat, what they eat. So why eat in a hotel where there's just yourself? Get out and meet the people and learn about the farmers and the fishermen and all the people that, are giving you that wonderful food.
So more about the experience than anything else.
Absolutely.
Just finally, and I know my wife should take notice of this, and probably many people who struggle to pack lightly, to struggle not to overpack going on a holiday. Have you got any tips there?
The first thing is make sure that your wardrobe, everything can be worn with at least 3 other items. Right. If you've got your colours all worked out and your layers worked out, lightweight clothing and lots of layers is better than, big, thick, heavy things. And as I say, colour coordinate everything so it can be worn with multiple outfits. And you can't go wrong. And the other thing is rolling your clothes. Either put your clothes in a packing cube, which makes it much easier to put into your suitcase, or roll it all up and you'll fit a lot more in. Or
pack like me, especially if you're going somewhere warm, a pair of boardies, some shirts and a pair of sandals. Done.
Warm destinations are much easier.
Easier, 100% right. Good on you, Lynn. Really nice to talk to you. And you can have a look at Lynn's blog at www.aholeinmyshoe.com. Lynn Baker, appreciate your time this morning. Happy holidaying.
Thanks, Andrew.